Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Ooh,
here we
All
go.
right, there you go.
too loud.
Nah, it was off.
Oh, well, that's even more difficult. I guess kind of take us through, the excitement level of the team right now, just with the fact that I don't know if you guys ever thought you'd get to the point where you're at a season opener. But where are you guys at right now?
I think we're just excited. Like he's talking about, we didn't even think we'd probably have a game. Not even a season at that point. So, I think guys have been, really excited for this day. This day coming up. I think every single day we've been working towards this day, no matter what was going to happen. If the season was going to get canceled, to play 1 or 2 games, 3 games, we're just super, super excited. And I think the energy throughout the gym from Coach Forbes all the way down to the managers is just ecstatic. So we're just ready to get out on the court and, give it our all and play it like, it's a regular game. So.
Coach Forbes has talked about the scrimmages you guys have had the last few weekends now, but, what have those been like from your perspective, and maybe who are those guys that have really kind of stood out to you when you've gotten to live play?
Yeah, the scrimmages have been great. Talking about going through practices and now finally being able to kind of like scrimmage and get out and play. He always talks about it like live play is the best teacher. We can go through all the drills and practice, but the scrimmages is where it's going to show how you can translate from practice to the game. So guys have been really well. Ish has been shooting the ball really well. He's taking steps as a sophomore. Jacoby's been doing really good. Jacoby and Daivien have been a good floor generals for us. Odie's been great just being able to, when he came back from being sick, he came and gave energy, and that's what he needs to do. Other guys have been great, been really solid, hitting shots, rebounding the basketball, playing good defense. So, it's really been a team effort. I think once we come together as a whole unit, we're going to be really good.
Yeah, I'd say Coach Forbes today talked a lot about your leadership skills. Did your leadership on this team, did it come organically, or was that by design, would you say?
It's a little bit of both. You're talking about I'm the only returner who has the most experience in the ACC. I'm the one who's been at Wake the longest, but also organically, just that's who I'm that person. I think I've been that person since I stepped here on this campus when I was a freshman, being super vocal and, being able to talk anywhere I can. And I think that's leading into this role that I've, taken on now. And I think guys, come to me and ask me questions if they need help about anything, but also look to me for different things. So, it's been really good being able to lead these guys and help them through things. And I think once you get to the battlefield, I'm sure that everybody's going to be rocking with me, and we're gonna make things happen. So I'm excited to get ready to get started.
Is that designation more of a burden or a blessing for you?
It's definitely a blessing. I never see it as a burden. Like, being a leader is like something that, I strive for, since I was a little kid, being able to lead a team and be that guy who guys will rely on to help them through things. Like, I know there's that time when I'm going to have to take things onto my shoulder. If we say, I don't want to lose, but if we have a loss, like this stuff that I have to, take on and embrace and say, all right, we're going to move on to the next thing, and I take ownership of that and, make sure that the next game we come out and be better than we were before. So, being that leader is a blessing. I think, I've embraced that role, knowing that, day in and day out, I got to bring my A game every single day, and I can't ever, relax. And it's great because the guys always push me to keep that high standard every single day, and I keep it myself.
Isaiah, at what point did you realize that you might be playing with Ish at the 5 next to you?
we didn't really realize it until, guys were getting injured throughout practice and, guys got a little bit, were getting sick and stuff. We didn't really think about it, but you were just like, hey, like, you put us on the court at any position, like, we're just going to play basketball. Like, at this point, like, it's becoming a basketball player. No matter if I'm at the 1 and Daivien's at the 5, like, we're going to be basketball players, right? But, it's been great. Being able to, play in a more open flowing offense with me and Ish at the 5, I think it's going to cause a lot of problems for defenses because at the end of the day, like, you have Ish popping, me popping, rolling. We could do a lot of both. So it's going to have to make the defense just see different looks because then we might have one play where I roll, but then another play where I pop. And it's the same play, but I just read it differently. And it's hard to guard when you have somebody who can roll and pop. So I think it's been great, and I think it's going to be a really good thing for us to be able to play us both at the 4 and the 5 for sure.
Yeah, it was like there's a lot of maybe surprise and shock today when fans see that Coach Forbes named the starting 5 with you at the 4 and Ish at the 5. It's kind of like, well, that's what the 5-out offense means, right? Like, that that you have to put 5 guys out there that can space the floor.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is like no 5-man, but I mean, this is what the game of basketball looks like now. If you talk about the NBA, like you're putting out 5 guards. Like if you talk about the Miami Heat, like they literally like Bam Adebayo on the 3-point line, spacing out, picking and popping, creating different, looks for their guys. And the game of basketball just has, it's transitioned from, having big guys dominating in the paint to now big guys stepping out, hitting shots, rolling and popping. So, I mean, obviously it's probably surprising for a lot of people, but, at the end of the day, like this is what the game of basketball is about. This is how it is now. And it's transitioning to 5 out, and I think a lot of teams are going that route as well.
Isaiah, how fun was it to play with that type of lineup in that scrimmage? I mean, that versatility has to be pretty exciting out there together.
Man, it's amazing. I think it flows just perfectly. Like there's no, question about what you're doing. It's just you're playing off instinct. You're playing off how you're feeling. And it's been amazing knowing that, if I roll, I know I'm not only creating a shot for myself, but I know if Ish is he's popping, it's gonna create something for me. Like every time we're cutting and screening away, somebody's always popping in. It's not always I'm cutting to look for the ball, but I'm cutting because that's gonna create a mismatch for Ish, because my big man is too worried and can't even get his feet right that he got to close out to Ish long. He's hitting the 3. Same thing for if Ish cuts, like I can hit the 3, and my big is all stumbling and can't get back to me. So. I mean, it's been amazing. We've been able to take advantage of those mismatches when it comes to, the guards and the bigs switch on to the guards, but also when we have bigs on us, we're able to, drive and kick and make plays.
Yeah, talking about that offense a little bit more, while you were growing up, were you kind of worried that you might end up being pigeonholed at like a 4 or 5 position and playing down inside a lot?
I mean, I wasn't always 6'8", so for a good amount of, like, when I was younger, I was smaller. So, I mean, my dad always had zone, like we always did a lot of guard skill drills. So as I even got taller, like we just continued to do guard skills. And honestly, I knew that at some point I was gonna have to play down there. Like I know I'm at 6'8". Like there's no way, hey, go play the 2. You're 6'8". Like no, you're gonna have to get down to the paint and get dirty a little bit. But I just try to use my quickness and my my guard skills that I worked with throughout my whole life to my advantage when I get down there. Obviously, I'm not gonna be overpowering everybody. So being able to be quicker than our guys and defensively try to move around guys is my my strength. So obviously I put on a little bit more weight so I could bang down there and be good. But using my quickness down there is definitely my strength, and I think it's going to be a really good thing to use when it comes to game time.
Yeah, you're showing the arms there.
Nah, this is just natural. I'm just sitting here like it's here,
There's no flexing going on at all?
Nah, this is straight muscle. They still cards. Coach Starkey just actually brought us some food, so I'm going to try that down. By the time we come to game time, the pictures come out, I might look a little, maybe 5 pounds bigger. So this is just natural now at this point.
What are you up to officially?
203. Okay. So I put on about 10 pounds in the summer. So it's Coach Starkey has been just amazing, man. Him just is like every single day hammering that into me of like gaining that weight to get to that next level and become that player I want to. And, him just every single day just breaking down stuff for me, it's been amazing. Like, he's been, the reason why I've been able to make strides, throughout the whole 4 months I've been here. So, it's a big part of my development. I think, with him, he's been able to take my game to the next level.
The 2 number is a big number for you, isn't it? And you're stuck on one.
When I had finally hit that 2 at 200, like, I called my mom and dad, like, crying, like, I did it. Like, it took me forever, but I finally got to 200, But, it's still a steady pace. Like, we're still working to get more weight on me. Obviously, through the season's going to be tough, but, we got our diet that we're going to keep working on to, keep stacking that weight and sustain everything.
You guys didn't have exhibitions, obviously. So how nice is it going to be to see a team with a different jersey, different color jersey, and not have to go up against your same guys that you've been going up against for months now?
It's gonna be amazing. Like, it's gonna be amazing not having to try to swing on your teammate for fouling you too hard in the practice or something. Like, it's gonna be amazing just to be able to go up against somebody and have all your brothers next to you, cheering you on and encouraging you through the whole game. I think we're ready. I think we've gelled together really well. On and off the court, we've become closer and closer as brothers. And I think when it's gonna show when we get onto that court, everybody from who's playing on the court to the bench is going to be connected. Like, we don't have any fans, so people that are going to be cheering you on are your teammates. So it's going to be important for us to stay together, through the ups and downs of a game. So I think we're gonna keep the energy really high throughout the bench, and also when guys check in, they're gonna give that energy back when they come in.
Anything else for Zed? All right.
Thank you, Zach.
Of course. Next up is the hometown hero.
All right, we got Daivien here.
Hey, Daivien. I guess let's go ahead and knock the hometown thing out of the way. Coach Forbes was talking today, and he said if he was going to play today, you'd be in that starting five. And I guess as long as nothing drastic happens, we might see you start tomorrow too. So how crazy is it going to be for you to, in your first game back in Winston-Salem, you start and you kind of get that experience?
Yeah, it'll be a wonderful feeling to hear my name in the starting lineup. But I care more about winning. You know what I'm saying? That's all I care about at the end of the day. Whether I start, come off the bench, whether I don't play at all, whether I play 40 minutes, I just want to win at the end of the day. That's my main focus right now, is just winning.
So Coach mentioned Quadre Adams is a guy that's maybe kind of stepped up a little bit these last couple of weeks. What are you seeing from him? Just a young guy kind of cracking in and trying to do a little more practice.
Yeah, he's grown a lot since he's been here in July. Like, he's a freshman, so he had to adjust to the college game. Like, college is a lot different than high school. It's a lot faster. Guys are a lot more athletic, smarter, stronger, things of that nature. So you got to adjust to this level of basketball, and I think it's starting to click for him now, and he's really starting to adjust well.
Daivien, Coach Forbes said today, he was talking about his nervousness and anxiousness before a game, and that there are times he might not want to cross his path. Is that what you remember from the East Tennessee State days? Is he someone you want to stay away from right before the game tips?
Yeah. I wouldn't, he's just very serious before a game. I mean, he's locked in. He's focused. He cares about winning more than anything. So that's what he does. That's what he wants to do at the end of the day. So he's going to be locked in. So if you don't really want to talk about basketball with him before a game, it's best not to talk to him at all.
Is there any nervousness or anxiousness for you as the season gets started tomorrow?
No, not really. I mean, it's at the end of the day, I'm at home. At the end of the day, it's just basketball. You know what I'm saying? I've been playing basketball my whole life. I just got to take it game by game.
Daivien, you've already mentioned a few times you just care about winning. I'm curious if you picked up on anything from the guys that were here last year and that have been here a couple years about how desperate they are to be on a winning team and experience some good wins, because that's something that they haven't had as much of, and you've had plenty of for the last 2 years.
Yeah. I just try to be a leader for the team. Try to show them the ropes, because it's an adjustment for me as well. Like, I won a lot, but also I'm playing in the ACC now, not the Southern Conference. So I've been taking tips and pointers from them about playing at this level. And really, it's just, at the end of the day, like I said about playing at home, at the end of the day, it's just basketball. You know what I'm saying? You got to go in there, do what you've been doing your whole life. Just work hard and be confident in yourself, and I believe you'll do well.
Has being in your hometown made the transition easier, especially during a pandemic?
Yeah, for sure, because, of course, with this pandemic, it's a lot of uncertainty right now. It's a lot of things that we don't know, but being home and being in the comfort of your own home and your city where you grew up at, it definitely makes the transition a lot easier, and it's just a lot more convenient as well.
Have you been able to show any of these guys cookout yet?
Nah, that's it.
All right. Well, what Winston staple are you going to take these guys to when we can finally go to restaurants or something like that? Like, where do you need to take these guys?
See, that's a good question right there. I think Firebirds. You guys ever heard of Firebirds? That's a place I like a lot. I really like Firebirds.
Eddie has.
Yeah. I like that spot.
Daivien, today the ACC announced that the tournament's going to be back in Greensboro. You grew up in Winston. Any thoughts on that the ACC tournament's going to be in Greensboro at the end of the season? Hopefully that we get there. But from being from Winston-Salem, just your thoughts on possibly playing in Greensboro in the ACC tournament.
I think it'll be good. Hopefully we'll be able to have fans at that time. My parents will be able to come. I played in the Coliseum a few times. I remember coming out of high school, UNCG was recruiting me, and I've actually watched them play there a few times as well. So, I mean, it'd be good to be able to play in Greensboro. It won't be just about a 25-minute drive for my family come watch me play in the ACC tournament. You know what I'm saying? One of the best conference tournaments in the nation. So, it's definitely great that it's being held in Greensboro, granted that we make it that far.
Do you remember watching it as a kid being played in Greensboro?
Yes, but I actually ACC tournament. I never got the chance to be there live, but I remember watching it a lot on TV and just thinking like, wow, like it'll be great to be able to be in that position. And look, I'm here now.
Daivien, what's the most important thing that you players and fans need to know about your opponent tomorrow, Delaware State? What do they do well? What do you need to be on the lookout for?
Delaware State, they play hard. They're very offensive minded. They can shoot the ball well. I remember playing them last year. They're very aggressive. They're downhill. They drive the ball very hard and well. So if we're not going the ball well, pushing back on their opponents in the gaps, they're just going to let in our basket all night. So we definitely have to be on our P's and Q's on the defensive end of the ball.
I asked Zay this, how nice is it going to be to play a team with a different color jersey on tomorrow?
Oh, man, it's going to be great. I love these guys, but I'm sick and tired of playing against them. I'm glad I get to finally have them on my side now.
Daivien, how different is the 5-out offense to people that have watched Wake for the last few years?
It's definitely we have a lot of freedom. It's very free flowing. We get the chance to just be like basketball players and not robots. You know what I'm saying? We get to as long as we're smart and making the right decisions. Like it's an offense that we can do our thing. We can be very aggressive. Coach Forbes actually gets mad at us when we're not aggressive. So we got the chance to go out there and just play free. You know what I'm saying? Just go out there and have fun at the end of the day on the offensive end, and every player wants to hear that.
I feel like he told us too that when he gets mad at the whole team, he sometimes yells at you because you're the one that's supposed to know what people are supposed to do, and you're supposed to tell them. Like, has that gotten to you at all? Like, Coach Forbes kind of uses you as the example.
I know how Forbes is, so I don't take it personal, but he's not lying about that. He yells at me for other people's mistakes, and I'm just like, well, okay, I got you, Coach. I'm gonna get it back.
Anything else?
I'm good. Thanks, Daivien.
Thanks, Daivien.
No problem.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks
Lucy.
for listening.